Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Let's take off for a look at some of this week's action-packed Major League highlights and sidelights. Comiskey Park. The White Sox play for laughs and a part in the pennant picture. Fenway Park. The Red Sox and Yankees play for the first time this year. Candlestick Park. The Giants continue to play them close and win. Yankee Stadium. Ron Guidry plays strikeout with the Angels. Cincinnati's Riverfront. Tom Seaver makes a play for his first no-hitter, and this time he gets it. So fasten your seatbelts, friends, and away we go on This Week in Baseball. Manager Sparky Anderson's Cincinnati Reds have been blessed with a lineup of healthy stars for almost a decade. Recently, some of his veterans have shown signs of wear and tear, but it's still an all-star-studded cast. And now, left fielder George Foster carries most of the load. Foster, the league's most valuable player last season, is coming on strong again, providing the bulk of Cincinnati's famed power output. While George bids to win his second straight home run title and third straight RBI crown, right fielder Ken Griffey is trying to chase down his first batting championship. Griffey has been leading the league in hitting, and like Foster, is approaching his prime. The Reds are still a veteran team, but some new players are also getting a chance to play. For example, Cincinnati now has a new name behind home plate, Don Werner. For years, his idol was Johnny Bench. And with Bench recently hospitalized because of a back injury, the rookie is striving to fill some big shoes. And one man who's really pulling for him all the way is all-star Johnny Bench.
I don't know of a finer kid probably that ever come into the game of baseball than Don Werner. I was a bit flattered because he chose 55 to work out in spring training because he used my number, and I was sort of his idol. So I was a bit flattered, and something like that, you really can't go up to a kid and say, here I am, I'm going to help you now because I'm this and that to you. He just learns by example to a great degree, and I think he has all the tools, first of all, to catch, and I think he may be a better hitter than some people expect.
In 1971, I signed in the June draft. I was a fifth-round draft choice, and that year I played in Bradenton, which is the rookie league, and then that same year they called me up to Tampa, which is A-ball in the Florida State League. The next year I played in the Florida State League again, which was 72. 73 I played in in Double-A rather, which is Three Rivers, Canada. 74 I played in the Florida State League once again. And then in 75 I went to Triple-A, and I've been at Triple-A from 75 to 77, and this is my first year in the big league.
For Don Werner, a long road to the majors, but already he's experienced the thrill of a lifetime catching Tom Seaver's recent no-hitter against the Cardinals. Seaver had pitched 5 one-hitters, 4 times flirted with no-hitters in the 9th inning, but this time finally made it all the way. A mighty happy occasion for Tom Terrific and the Cincinnati fans. The San Francisco Giants have also been providing their share of thrills. An old baseball cliche says the Giants are supposed to swoon in June. But for the most part, San Francisco has stayed on top in the West. To be number one, the Giants have shown great pitching, led by Vida Blue's exploding fastball. The pitchers have certainly done their part, but so have other youngsters, like Fleet center fielder Larry Herndon. And San Francisco's rising star in right field, Jack Clark. Both Jack Clark and the Giants have come into their own at the same time. Not only has Clark hit 300 with power, he's delivered in the late innings, like this 3-run ninth-inning blast that beat the Mets. While the Giants won the game on Clark's homer, this man, Eddie Cruz, started the San Francisco ninth-inning rally. After it beat the deadline trade from the Cubs, Cruz arrived just in time to hit this pinch hit homer, the 31st pinch hit round tripper in the major leagues this season. And if you think that's a lot, last year's total of 95 tied a big league record. The pinch hitter is surrounded by drama and excitement. And this season, Lee Lacy of the Dodgers is just one of several new names to enter the record book. Lacy sparked Los Angeles with 3 pinch hit homers in 3 consecutive official at-bats. The Dodgers are loaded with talented pinch hitters. So are the Philadelphia Phillies. Infielder Davy Johnson is the judge of the Phillies' pinch bench. Johnson got his name in the record book by delivering twice in the pinch, both times with the bases loaded. Good pinch hitters thrive on pressure. It may look fun and easy, but the experts really prepare.
During the ball game, I'll start loosening up early about the 4th or 5th inning, do some stretching exercises for the reason that since you're sitting cold for a couple of hours, your back has a tendency to tighten up. So I'll loosen up during the game, and then come around the 6th, 7th, 8th inning, I'll get my bat, put some pine tar on it, loosen up again, get myself physically ready, and then start mentally preparing myself to pinch hit. You can't grab a bat, rush up to the on-deck circle, loosen up, prepare yourself mentally all in that minute or 2 that you have. You have to do some things in anticipation, and I think that's what's made me a better pinch hitter the last 4 or 5 years.
Few pinch hitters have been as successful as the Mets' Ed Kranepool. For the past 4 seasons, Kranepool has been a .400 hitter off the bench. This double against the Giants was Ed's 76th career pinch hit and ranks him 10th on the all-time list. The all-time home run pinch hit leader is Jerry Lynch, who cracked 18 round trippers. But the most successful overall pinch hitter of all time was Smokey Burgess. The little round man hit safely 144 times. But even that record might not stand for long. The Dodgers' Manny Mota is number 2 on the list with 127 career pinch hits. Pinch hitting, a baseball art. Right, Ed?
But I think your mental approach to the game has to improve, and I think experience helps you. And, of course, playing the game and knowing what's going on and preparing yourself. You have to be able to accept the role on your ball club. And then, of course, you can channel your thoughts in the right direction.
You might recall a certain fad called streaking. Well, don't lose your shirt. Several American League teams have really been streaking lately. Let's start with the Baltimore Orioles, who put together this season's longest winning streak, 13 in a row. Much of the credit for that goes to sluggers like Eddie Murray and 4 starting pitchers, Jim Palmer, Scott McGregor, Mike Flanagan, and this man, Dennis Martinez. The Oriole hot streak shot them past the New York Yankees into 2nd place in the American League East, but only barely ahead of the streaking Milwaukee Brewers, who had won 10 straight. In the Western Division, the Chicago White Sox seemed too far out to have a chance. Of course, far out is how you describe goings-on at Comiskey Park. haircuts in the bleachers, little green bowler hats on the players. Well, they may not set any fashion trends, but the Sox have been streaking also, winning 18 of 21 games. And suddenly they too are back in the pennant picture. Their heroes are many, including names like Bill Naharodny, and Wayne Nordhagen. And for a more familiar White Sox name, how about Eric Soderholm, last year's American League Comeback of the Year? After a slow start, he's coming back along with his team, belting clutch homers that have the scoreboard jumping and Sox fans singing their favorite song. Last year, 4 teams were crowded around the top of the Western Division, and this year it's 5. Clearly, no piece of cake for anyone. If one team has to be favored, it must be the Kansas City Royals, who are on top once more. The Royals and White Sox squared off in Chicago, splitting 4 games, proving to each other that they were both primed for action. Yes, the Royals may be favored, but with all this streaking going on in the American League, there's no telling who will be in or out of the Wild Western Division race. Back east, the Boston Red Sox have been streaking too, streaking to a recent 9-game victory string. The New York Yankees came to Fenway Park 7 games behind the Sox and a bit apprehensive.
A team like Boston that's playing well and is putting the pressure on us and really dragging the sled and pulling away, so to speak, they will create new highs. And maybe the ball club, the Yankees right now, needs something like that that will create a high for us, because if we go into Boston and fool around, we'll get hammered, we'll get killed, you know.
Of course, neither team was about to take this series lightly. Although holding a comfortable lead in the standings, the Red Sox played like there was no tomorrow. How about that? In the first game, the Yankees, who had not been hitting, came out swinging, teeing off for 4 third-inning runs to give themselves a 4-1 lead. But starter Luis Tiant got excellent relief pitching from veteran Tom Bergmeyer, and defense like this kept the Yankees from doing any more damage. Pressure was such that Billy Martin brought in ace reliever Goose Gossage in the 4th inning. He was overpowering for 4 innings, but Boston bats exploded in the 8th, and the Yanks and the Goose were finally cooked. Bases loaded in the 9th, Roy White made this bid for a grand slammer, but the drive didn't go far enough, and Boston won 10-4. The next night, the Yankees got their grand slammer from Fred Stanley, won the game by the same 10-4 score. Boston still on top, but there's a long way to go in this streaking American League. When you talk about the unexpected in baseball these days, the sky's the limit. Is it a bird or is it a plane? Well, let's take a look. Ah, it's Parachute Man, a late-inning defensive replacement. Another flying machine. Look up and look out. Here comes another emergency recruit. Ah, pray tell, Chicken Little, is the sky really falling? If so, fans will have to find their own shelter. Come on, Chicken Little, use your wings. Everything's flying around the park these days, including inflated baseballs. And even paper airplanes. A one-handed catch. Of course, players are supposed to catch baseballs, but that sky is mighty sly. Come home to earth. But you know trouble stirs there too. Just watch. And now let's go on to some exciting plays. Watch pitcher Ed Haliki start this play and end it. How about that? And how about these plays? Wow. Aerial acrobatics once again by Cleveland's Dwayne Kuiper. Tiger third baseman Phil Mankowski. First baseman Larry Bittner and Dave Geisel team up at first. More teamwork. Steve Garvey's throw finds catcher Steve Yeager. Now find the runner. Now let's check the outfield. The Boston Red Sox Dwight Evans in right field. In center field, the New York Mets Lee Mazzilli. And finally, moving to left field, it's Roy White of the New York Yankees. Fine catches, all of them. And the Atlanta Braves just made a fine catch of their own in the recent amateur free agent draft. Bob Horner, the nation's #1 draft choice, straight off the Arizona State campus. And what a debut. In his first professional game, he hit a home run off Bert Blyleven. It would appear the kid has some kind of big league future. And in the very near future, Yankee fireballer Ron Guidry may set all kinds of pitching records. Rapid Ron shut out the Angels for his 11th win without a loss, and in the process, struck out 18 men. That's the most strikeouts ever by a Yankee, and just one short of the big league record. Cincinnati pitcher Tom Seaver also had a big night to remember. Throughout his distinguished career, Tom had done practically everything except pitch a no-hitter. A little luck and a few plays like this by Ray Knight, the third baseman, is what he needed. The Gillette Company is proud to present Tom Seaver with this week's Gillette Special for hurling his first no-hitter. Congratulations, Tom. For this week, friends. Hope to see you next week on This Week in Baseball.